Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL GW. Hello, Cat. Um, it's a funny old game, innit? Yeah, for the younger generation, Jimmy Greaves, lovely fella. Used to, well, obviously a footballer for Spurs and England, um, and used to host a show on a Saturday morning called the Saint and Greavesy. Very, very funny, very funny. Spent many happy hours in my childhood watching that. But yeah, he had this saying, it's a funny old game. When anything sort of crazy or surprising would happen in football, or just what you didn't expect, or narratives weren't followed, there were shock results, or ridiculous players scored, and yeah, what an interesting game week that was. Don't know where to begin. Begin at the beginning. At the beginning, usually the best place, isn't it? Let's say goodbye. Thank you very much, Mr. Greasy, for the many hours of pleasure on a Saturday morning. That sounded bad, didn't it? Sorry, Jimmy. Anyway, let's start. Let's talk about what might have been if I'd followed my first instincts and just gone with it, which was just to roll, even despite the injuries. If I'd gone with this, I would be so much better off. But I think my last words on that video were, am I fuck going with that? 5-4-1. And of course, I would have lost Clivert. And I'd have still been better off. I haven't actually added this up. It's going to upset me as I do it. This is going to be just rough. Henderson 2, Manoz, I think it was 1, 2, 3, Gabriel 1, 2, 3, 4, Gavardio 6, 10, Milenkovic 16, 16, 16, 16, 22, 22, 22, 29, 30, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 32, 33, 34. And 9, 43. 43 with Nkunku still to come. Have I got that right? Mathematicians are out there amongst you. Work it out. But I didn't do that, did I? I didn't. I transferred out Haaland. I transferred out Wood. Sensible moves, even for the -4. Bringing in Isaac and bringing in Marmoush. Sensible moves. But of course, I got the Mateta FOMO, and Strand Larsen, even though I was confident enough that he would play, I transferred Strand Larsen out for Mateta. And of course, Strand Larsen got his goal and his bonus points, and Mateta is blanked. Anyway, but it gets worse, folks. It gets much, much worse. But let's have a look at what I was giving good advice, sensible advice, with the free hit team that I did a video on. So I saw not free hit, the wildcard team, which I did a video on. So it's a weird game week. I think talk about it's a funny old game. I think anyone looking at those fixtures this week, wildcarding, would have been thinking they were looking at tasty 70-point plus, and rightly so. Great fixtures. You had all the fixtures. You had your Cliverts at home, your Cliverts against your switches. You had obviously City on the great fixture. Yeah, no, okay. No. Just really good, really good fixtures. But yeah, a lot of the big hitters didn't fire. Of course, Salah nothing. But this is Jason's team. We did have Clivert in there. Now here's the story. As you know, I live in New Zealand. I wake up at about 3 in the morning. And I just flicked on some of the pre-deadline coverage just to see if there's any news coming in. I might have had FPL Mate or one of the boys on, and I'm sort of just lying there half dozing. Next thing I get the news that Clivert, yellow flagged, unlikely to be playing. I thought, oh fuck's sake. So I flicked around a few others and I thought, oh right, and everyone's taken them out of their team. All the wild carders taken them out of the team. Flicked a message to Jason and said, hope you're awake, mate, because he's in New Zealand as well. Hope you're awake, mate. I went, I'd take Clivert out and put Savinho in. Good, sensible stuff, I hear you say. And the result is there for all to see. It'd have been okay, actually, even if it got Oldham, because it had Saka coming off the bench, but he's caught a bit of an extra point or so there. And also the benefit, obviously, now that he's got the triple up for City in 3 weeks' time, and saved himself a transfer in the process for doing that. Good result. He's actually sitting on a green. In a bad game week, he's sitting on a green, and he's up to, I think, about 46,000. So all going well for my young protege. Just going to keep silent here for a minute, let the drama build. You won't believe what I did. I don't believe what I did. Do as I say, not as I do. That's the only thing you can take out of this. Drum roll from Mr. Foden, please. Fucking hell. I'm a dad cunt. Excuse my language, I really am. Why? I don't know. Maybe I had a flashback to last year. I think it was around the same point of the season where something similar happened, and brought Foden in on a whim and threw a captain's armband on him, and he one of those when he came with a 20-pointer. I don't know. I was half asleep. I just thought, in my position, I'm going to take a punt, and maybe I had a dream. I don't know. It was 3 in the morning. That's honestly my only excuse. So, not only did I miss out on the Savinho points, but it was another -4. So if you actually think of it, neither of my hits really worked. I was, because the reality is, I think I said that, it was Marmoush was actually the hit. Marmoush wasn't the hit because Marmoush was always going to be coming in for that fixture. Isak was always going to be coming in because I wanted Isak. And I think I mentioned a few videos back, I just had this little doubt about Mateta at the moment with his mask on his face and his big kick in the head. It can take a little bit to sort of recover from that sort of thing. And I always wanted Marmoush with Haaland going out, and I always wanted Isak come what may. So the reality is, and the way my money worked, anyways, Mateta's the hit for Strand Larson, and Foden's the hit for Clivert. Shocker, absolute shocker, Des, absolute shocker. However, in a minor miracle, I haven't really dropped. I've only dropped by a few thousand. I've only dropped by a few thousand, and so I haven't actually seen any of the football yet. I didn't actually. One of the few nights I didn't get up to actually watch all the games, so I am going to be watching the highlights. I'm sure there's going to be some tales of what might have been in there, but this probably is the tale of what might have been, or just daft decisions. I mean, Jesus, I deserve a flogging for these ones. However, by some miracle, I'm not on too much of a red. It's a red, but it's not too big a red. Nkunku's coming in. The guy that could do some harm to me tomorrow, I guess, is Palmer. A lot haven't brought him in on the wild cards. A few have, and a lot have been transferring him out previously anyway. So it won't be as much damage as what he could have done. But if he does suddenly decide to get back to the Palmer of old and do one of his things, that is going to cause some pain. At the moment, though, I mean, if he does fire, I mean, if Nkunku does start, I guess this is my only doubt here. Jackson, I think, has been back in full training. If I've got this correct, he's back in full training. Will they start Jackson from the off? Probably not. Probably works out better for me if Nkunku doesn't start at all. And I just get is it Kanati I've got up first, off the bench, and get the points out of that. We'll see. Anyway, at least I've got a little bit of interest going on tomorrow if Nkunku does start. Will Palmer start either? I suppose is the thing. I suspect they will start him, wouldn't they? They will start Palmer. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Out of my hands now. But yeah, just bad decisions, Des. Bad decisions. So what am I going to do next week? Now, no 100% decisions made here. We will do a proper review. Now, there's going to be a pretty short turnaround time, so I thought I'd get this one out now with a quick review of where things are at so far. Not made any concrete decisions. So we do now have problems of my own making in the team, or are they a problem now? I have not watched the highlights. I don't know what the news is on Foden. Was he even on the bench? I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know at the moment. Is there some doors banging there? Bear with me. So I need to look at that situation. I have a plan to bring Saka in, but I had decided, that that was going to be my City triple up, and just take a big punt on that. But do I have a Foden problem there now? So I need to look at what the hell's going on there. There's no flag on him, so yeah, don't know. Need to have a look at this. So I need to decide who's going to be benched, etc. If I was going to make a transfer, it would have probably been because I just don't think he's going to be playing at all once Jackson's fully back, and I do want him anyways. It'd probably be Murphy. That would have been my other sensible decision, obviously, not to bring in Foden, but to bring in Murphy would have been another pretty decent choice to have brought in because I knew I wanted Murphy anyways. So this is kind of where it's at. Absolutely not set in concrete. I may actually just decide, you know what, Des, do nothing. I have to get myself ready for, I'm not in too bad a shape for game week 33. I don't think I'm going to triple up on Newcastle. Don't trust their defence. So it would be an attacking option I bring in, and I don't want to use that transfer anyways. I'm already doing enough damage with the ones I'm doing. So I just think it's kind of got to probably roll with this, apart from maybe bringing in Murphy and get to 34, as I said, with some transfers up my sleeve. We'll know the doubles by then. There will be a double in 36, almost definitely. So I need to, the transfers that I make in 34 should ideally be geared towards that 36, so I can go in, have some doublers, and then have enough transfers coming out of that to just set myself up for the last couple of games. So it's just got to almost take it sort of on that week by week basis as we get more information. So this is kind of what I might go with. Might not even bring in Murphy, just hang on to that transfer, hold tight like I should have done last week. Even though it was a 5-4-1, I would have been better off because, as I say, you just don't know what's going to happen. Best example, number one in the world at the moment, is a 70-year-old woman just playing for the first time. She set up her team at the beginning of the season and she just makes a transfer or so every couple of weeks. Hasn't used her chips. Just ticking away, number one in the world. We engaged managers, I wonder sometimes, are we in an FPL bubble? And we're sort of so stressed. We hear what everyone else is doing, and we listen to the other content providers, and we listen to me, and we listen to each other. And then there's a whole world outside of that just does nothing and just puts out a team that looks pretty decent and just lets it sort of roll on. Don't miss out on points because they're not chopping and changing all the time. I don't know. There's a lesson there somewhere. One day maybe I'll learn it. One day maybe I'll learn it. It's a funny old game. Have fun. Play your own game. Don't panic. I'll see you in about 24 hours time when this crazy game week's unfolded. See you soon. Bye bye.